There's a formula to it. A very simple formula. Everybody's a suspect.
Hi guys, my name's Will and welcome to my first ever movie review. So be kind. Today we're going to be talking about Scream from 1996, starring Neve Cambell, David Arquette, Courtney Cox and Skeet Ulrich. So this is going to be not a typical movie review where I go over the plot points and stuff like that. I'll go over some plot points but not the whole movie. I feel this movie has been out long enough that anybody who's interested in it would have watched it. So yeah, I'll just be talking about what it meant for the horror genre at the time and some plot points. So yeah, I feel that this movie created or revived the subgenre of slashers and maybe horror in general. Like that's my general feeling towards this movie. I think it's the greatest movie of all time. Just to get that right off the bat, I think it's the greatest horror movie of all time. No questions asked. From the characters to the acting, deaths, to the whole feel of the movie, the cinematography, the score in this movie is just magnificent. And that spawns off. This movie was so good it spawned off its other versions of it, like clone carbon copies. So basically this started the teen slasher of the late 90s. You had movies like Urban Legend, I know what you did last summer, and Halloween H2O. If there's any more of the teen slasher genre for the late 90s, put it down in the comment section below. It was also the first meta movie, I feel, that ended up Wes Craven's A New Night. I think A New Nightmare came out after Scream. I think it did come out after Scream. So yeah, the whole meta situation was self-referential. Kinda it flags off the typical tropes of your horror movies and then does the exact same thing that they were slagging off. So like, there's a scene in this movie with Sidney and Ghostface where Ghostface is on the phone and she's like, basically they're all the same. Horror movies are all the same. She should be running out the front door, or she runs up the stairs instead of running out the front door. But when Ghostface appears to Sidney in that scene, she goes to open the door but the door's locked, so she runs up the stairs. It's just wee bits like that. I'm like, so meta feeling. And obviously the start of the movie was just incredible for the time. Like, Wes Craven was not going to direct this movie unless this scene at the start got made, because Drew Barrymore was cast. I think she was going to be the final girl. I'm not entirely sure. But Wes Craven didn't want to do the movie, and Drew Barrymore says, I'll be the first kill. Wes Craven was like, this is genius. Like, that is just surreal. Like, and that's this movie exceeded expectations with that one scene. The very first scene just set the world alight. Like, who would have thought the massive star in Drew Barrymore in the late 90s, she was the pinnacle of stardom at that time, and they kill her off first. They're like, holy crap. No, so that's when you're introduced just to Ghostface. The scenes what you see Ghostface in this movie had me so hyped for the rest of the movie. And that's like the rest of the see, after the first scene, the rest of the movie goes by in a flash. It is on for an hour and 42 minutes plus credits, and you feel like you're watching a 10-minute movie. It goes by that fast. It is so good, and it is. I can't stop gushing over this movie. It is like, I don't know what to tell you. Just stop this video and go watch it, rewatch it, whatever you want to do. Just please watch this movie again and again and again and again, which I did when I first seen this movie. Rented it. I got my parents to rent it. I played it every single day for weeks on end. That's how I feel like I'm rambling on here, but I just love this movie. Like, so that scene with Drew Barrymore as Casey Becker's character, and then obviously we go the scene that gets me out. So she manages to get outside, and she's hiding or she's crawling, and she stands up. And Ghostface just like, oh, and then he butts the window, and I'm like, oh God. And then when she finally gets stabbed, she can see her parents, and you're just like, please, parents, turn around and see her, save her. And that's the sense of hopelessness you have in her death. It was just magnificent. And then the whole movie is just, it was funny. Like Matthew Lillard's character, I didn't mention him in the cast, but Matthew Lillard's character, he's just so great. Like, he's so funny. He is my favourite character in this whole movie. When I was younger, it was Skeet Ulrich because he was cool. I wanted my hair like that. But when I got older, Matthew Lillard for me is just, he is the best part of this movie. You could take Ghostface out and it'd be a comedy with just him in it. That's what Wes Craven and Kevin Williamson did so well in this movie. They mixed horror with comedy, just met so well. And it was that kind of dark comedy at times, but it wasn't. It was just so good. But I'll get on to, instead of talking about the whole movie, I'll talk about the reveal of the killers, because there's certain parts of this movie you think, oh, they're definitely the killer, or oh, they're definitely the killer. But again, it's exceeds expectations. There's two freaking killers. So at the end of the movie, they're at a house party, in Stu Macher's house, who is played by Matthew Lillard. And through the movie, you kind of think Billy Loomis, who Skeet Ulrich plays, he's the killer. And then he gets stabbed by Ghostface, and you're like, holy shit. Like, through the movie, I thought he was a killer, but now you're like, who could be the killer then? Like, if he died, you thought he was a killer. I'm like, your brain goes into overdrive mode. Like, who is it? But it turns out it's two killers: Matthew Lillard, who's Stu Macher, and Billy Loomis, because Billy Loomis didn't actually get killed. And that's when you're thinking, oh my God. Like, this movie keeps throwing you in one direction and then taking you in another direction. Just at the time, two killers was unheard of. It's now a staple in the Halloween franchise, the Scream franchise, with every single movie apart from one, the third one, which we'll talk about in a future review, had two killers apart from number 3, who had one. So yes, and that's my wee quick review. I think I gushed over the movie a bit too much. In fact, I'll talk about the end part. When the killers get revealed, the change in the tone of Billy Loomis and Stu Macher. Stu Macher amps, even though he's a killer, he amps up his horror, his comedy to like 100. Like, let's face it, say, your mama ain't no Sharon Stone. Or, why'd you hit me with a phone, dick? Yeah, just please go and watch it. And if my first movie review isn't really a review, I promise I will get better on camera. It's my first review, so yes, tell me what your thoughts are about when you first saw Scream. And yeah, just tell me your overall thoughts about the subgenre of the slasher, and I'll see you on the next one.
You like scary movies?
Uh-huh.
What's your favorite scary movie?